All right. Well, happy Thursday, everybody. I hope you've had a chance to enjoy some of the beautiful sunshine and weather that we're having for the first time in 2022, it feels like. My name is Donna Brooks. I'm the grants coordinator with the Johnson County Board of Supervisors. And
go ahead.
Go ahead. Yep, go ahead.
My name's Swala Haramija, and I'm the Diversity, Equity, Inclusion Coordinator for the Board of Supervisors Office.
And I'm James Bechtel, Project and Systems Analyst in the board's office as well.
And you can see by the screen that your presenters today are Sean Donaldson, our Program Compliance Specialist, and Paola. And unfortunately, Sean is out of the office with illness, so I will be taking Sean's role during this webinar. So please extend all the grace and patience you can my way as we are making some last minute adjustments. All right. The purpose of today's webinar is to provide some additional context and opportunities for collaboration with our trusted community partners, which are you folks. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedules to join in this conversation. We recognize that as service providers, your organizations understand the needs of the community better than most, and we look to you for your expertise and leadership. We acknowledge that with this direct assistance program, which is kind of an unprecedented program, not just for Johnson County, but for local governments in general, as typically these types of programs are administered through the federal government, not local governments. We acknowledge that there may be technology and language barriers for some of our residents. We have done everything we can to make an accessible and easy to complete application, but we do recognize that those barriers may still exist. And we hope to work closely with our community partners to improve ease of access by providing the opportunity to answer questions and offer some better understanding for our community service providers about the Johnson County Direct Assistance Program and its application process. So we'll begin by sharing Johnson County's Direct Assistance Program with you. We'll kind of begin with a program overview, eligibility guidelines, and application overview. We'll walk through some of the specifics of the application, and then we'll look at the program timeline and review process. There will be opportunities for questions throughout the presentation. If you could please use that Q&A function in Zoom, we would appreciate that. James will be kind of managing and responding to those questions as they come in. There will also be an opportunity at the end if you'd like to raise your hand or have any discussion or additional clarification requests. We can make room and space for that at the end of the webinar. So again, along the way, please feel free to use that Q&A tool to submit any questions you may have, and we'll make sure to respond either live or at the end of the webinar. All right. So what is the Direct Assistance Program? The Johnson County Direct Assistance Program provides emergency financial relief in the form of a one-time $1,400 check to eligible residents of Johnson County. These residents must have experienced a negative economic impact as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. The Johnson County Board of Supervisors invested $2 million into this program, and the City of Iowa City recently invested $1.5 million. So we have a total budget of $3.5 million to provide these emergency payments to eligible residents of the county. Approximately 2,400 residents will be eligible to receive program benefits. This program is funded by state and local fiscal recovery funds allocated to local governments through the American Rescue Plan Act.
So we are going to talk about the eligibility guidelines. The first one is identity. So applicants must be 18 years of age. In the case they are not, they do need to provide documentation of marriage or emancipation. So those are the categories. all applicants will need to provide proof of identity in the application process through the portal. And you can find a guide of those accepted documents on our website. And again, those applicants that are under 18 must then provide documentation of marriage or emancipation in order to be eligible for the program. The second guideline is residency. So applicants must be Johnson County residents, having resided in Johnson County since March 1st of 2020. The Iowa Code does define residence for us. And so you can read through that code here. And again, applicants will be asked and have to provide proof of residency in this particular situation. It's really important that as this component is kind of read through and worked through, the guidelines are understood. And so being a Johnson County resident is really important to fulfilling this eligibility. And so what that means can be read through this Iowa Code, but there are certainly circumstances where, other components or eligibility requirements kind of beat out this residency, in the sense of a great example is, if a single mother has been working and living in Johnson County, they reside within Johnson County guidelines, and they start a bachelor's degree or a master's degree, that does not take away their eligibility. They've been a Johnson County resident. They continue to be a Johnson County resident. They just happen to be a student at that moment. And so it's important to have an understanding of these residency guidelines as applicants move towards their application in the portal. The third eligibility guideline is income. And so we really encourage all people that are eligible to apply. When it comes to income, it is important to take into consideration the applicant's household size and their income level. So as you can see here, their income must be at or below these thresholds depending on that family size. And again, it's really important that applicants have the ability to provide proof of that income, and the documents that can be used, again, are listed on our website. We're also able to provide you a copy of that document as well for easier access about how that income can be proved. The fourth and final one, is negative economic impact due to COVID-19. So applicants must have experienced one of the following as are listed here. Applicants must be able to document and demonstrate this low to moderate income status. And so negative economic impact is a self-certification based on the fact that we acknowledged that there are barriers and challenges for some populations that they may face due to citizenship status, employment status, or living situations that would make it difficult to provide proof for these. So the last bullet point was these eligible federal programs. So the participation in these programs does provide automatic eligibility determination. And again, that no documentation is required past that point.
All right. How do eligible residents apply? On Johnson County's Direct Assistance Program website, there will be 2 links available. One of those links will be to start an application. One will be to access your account to resume a saved application. Please consider the website johnsoncountyiowa.gov/direct assistance program to be the official resource of information regarding the direct assistance program. We were still making updates to the website this morning, and I'm just saying that to illustrate the fact that this is a new program. It is dynamic in nature. We will be improving it when we can based on some of the feedback and information we learn once the program goes live. So we're being very, very careful and deliberate in not printing or sharing static resources at this point in time, because some of these things may be subject to change as the program evolves and as the application period opens, and we find solutions to challenges that we may not know are exist or will exist. So applicants should visit the website and review all program requirements and accepted documentation prior to beginning an application. We recommend taking that approach because we worry that it may be kind of cumbersome or confusing for applicants, especially those who may not have experience working within grant portals or online application portals. What we're trying to do is reduce the probability that people are going to accidentally create multiple applications. So the most efficient approach would be to gather all that documentation in advance, sit down, complete the application, which should take about 15 minutes from start to finish once all that documentation is put together. And that will really be the most ease of access, efficiency, and hopeful lack of troubleshooting. So that would be our recommended approach. All applicants of the Johnson County Direct Assistance Program must complete an online application. And again, we acknowledge and recognize that there may be technology barriers for some of our residents. Computers are available at our area libraries. And also, this is an opportunity as community partners where we ask for your hopeful collaboration and assistance, and maybe helping some of the populations that you serve on a daily or weekly basis if they may need some of that type of assistance. But we will not accept paper applications. All program communications will take place through the email account that is associated with the online portal that they have to create an account for in order to access the program. So we're really, really trying to stress the importance of using a valid email address, checking that email address, and submitting the application online. The application is available in 5 languages: English, Spanish, French, Arabic, and Swahili. If any of the residents or populations you serve need additional language access, please contact us, and we can hopefully work on facilitating getting that translation underway. Or if you have any other ideas as service providers on how to overcome some language obstacles, we would love to hear from you as well. Okay, so how do eligible residents apply? To complete an application, residents must create an account with an email address that they check regularly. And as I mentioned, all of the program communication will occur through email. After creating an account, the applicants will complete a 7-part application. Those 7 parts of the application, which just look like tabs running across the screen, we'll show you a visual of that later. But those 7 parts include contact information, income eligibility, the negative economic impact experienced, required attachments, supplemental questions, application certification, and then the final step, which is just to review the information that you've provided, make sure that it is true, accurate, and complete, and then submitting. This online application is comprised of fillable fields, multiple choice questions, and then file uploads. Submitted information is stored on a secure server and is only reviewed by necessary program personnel. We want to stress that resident and applicant confidentiality is of the utmost importance to Johnson County as well as the U.S. Treasury. And we have taken many safeguards to ensure that people who are applying for this program can know that their information is safe and secure. Okay, so this is what the link to the application will look like. It will bring you to this online application kind of sign-in portal screen. This application can be completed on either a computer or a mobile device. Once applicants have clicked the link on Johnson County website, they will be asked to sign in. You can see the box in red shows that if they have not yet created an account, they will need to create one. Click that create account link, and that will take them to the account creation page. Because of system limitations, we are only able to provide some of these navigation prompts in English and Spanish. To create an account, applicants need to provide that email that they can access, as well as create a password. If they arrive at the screen accidentally, they can click the link at the bottom, circled in red, to return to the login screen so they don't accidentally create another account. And if they are indeed creating an account, they can enter their email and then press continue to move forward to the application. Now, once they get into the application, they will come to this screen. This is a consent statement that is required to move forward into the application. This is a data sharing consent statement, and they have to select that either yes, they consent to Johnson County's collection and utilization of their information as described above, to be able to provide program benefits. If they click no, they will not be able to move forward within the application. Once an application or an account, is created within the online portal, the resident will receive an email that says, congratulations, you've successfully created an account. And then it will provide a link that allows access to log in to their account page. This account page is where users can resume a saved application. So this is a very, very important link to hold on to. And I just want to, again, kind of emphasize, we really want to encourage applicants to, if they must save and return to it, use this link, avoid creating multiple applications within the system. All right, and then again, applicants must choose yes in order to move forward. If they choose no, this is they'll get an error message at the top of the screen, and it will allow them the opportunity to go learn more about the direct assistance program, and then it does not permanently disqualify them from continuing if they feel that, after learning more about the program, or they've changed their mind and have decided to consent, then they can select yes and move forward to the application. All right, so after submitting yes on the consent statement page, applicants are taken to the first section of the full application, which asks for contact information. The application includes useful navigation buttons at the top. You'll see those circled in red. They indicate what information will be requested in each of the 7 sections of the application. These tabs allow, you'll also see opportunities for users to print off the application or email their draft application if they would like the opportunity to take more time to prepare their answers or to gather required documentation. Those are options, but again, no paper applications will be accepted. Only online applications will be accepted. All right, and then the contact information section asks for a full name, street address where they currently reside, and will receive the check if they are selected for program benefit, the city, state, email, phone, date of birth, gender identity, and race. If someone is applying and they are under the age of 18, they must use the file upload to attach documentation of that legal emancipation or marriage status. So again, this program is for individuals 18 years or older, or those that are considered legal adults by Iowa code. And by legal adults, we in no way are insinuating that legal means legal resident of the United States. We just mean an adult by terms of the Iowa code. All right, throughout this application, when you are uploading documentation, users must first choose the file and then select the file, but you have to choose upload after you select that attachment. So that's kind of a cumbersome thing, I think, in more modern applications or day-to-day user experience. Once we click something, it's there. But in this system, you have to click that upload button or it will not be complete. At any time of the application, users can select save and finish later, and then they can use that link that was sent to them at the time of account creation to re-access the application, or they can just select next and move forward or move on to the next section of the application, and their answers will be saved as they go. If an applicant does select save and finish later, the application will close and they will log out of the system. So that's something to be aware of.
Yeah, that's a great point. So hitting save and finish later will actually close out their application and they will have to go back to that process of logging back in. Next, we'll save it and move on to the next tab. So the second section does focus on income eligibility. Applicants must enter their household size and then either their 2020 or 2021 annual income for their household. The applicants will also have to submit documentation of that annual income of their household. And you can see that across all of the tabs, there is a red asterisk or star on the required items before final submission, and that can include the upload of documentation as it pertains to that section. So the documentation fields include links to the accepted documentation as is circled in red. So you can actually click here in the application and it will provide you that documentation that states what you can use as proof for the section. Again, this is also included on our website and is also was included in your invitation email for easier access. For the income eligibility portion, there's also a link to a template letter that is available in order to provide proof for this particular income eligibility section. So you can use that as well. And the information bubble that you see next to some of these upload documentation questions is going to remind you what Donna just spoke about, that it's really important that as applicants move through each portion and they come to a place where they do need to provide documentation, they need to again click choose file, select the correct file wherever it may be saved or kept in the system, and then hit upload to make sure that that documentation fills that field that it pertains to. The third section is going to be negative economic impact. So applicants are going to be asked yes or no questions about unemployment, housing insecurity, food insecurity, and exclusion from previous stimulus programs. They're also provided with a select all that applies to the questions in this program qualified for at any time since March 1st, 2020. And at the end, there is a none of the above option in the case that they did not qualify for any of those programs. And so it's important to note that they just scroll all the way to the bottom. Again, any required fields will be highlighted with that red star at the question. And so if you do have questions or want more information about housing insecurity and food insecurity, there are, again, links in the questions that will provide that information to applicants as they move through that.
Thank you. And just a quick note, I know that laundry list of state and federal and some local programs can look kind of intimidating, but really the purpose of that question is to fast track eligibility. Any participation or qualification for those programs allow residents to have that kind of immediate eligibility to move forward. So, again, no documentation is required for that. It's just an opportunity for residents to be able to quickly establish eligibility for the program. The fourth section is the required attachment section. This is where proof of identity and residency must be submitted. This section includes links to the table of accepted documentation and information bubbles that remind applicants to first click Choose File and then select the correct file and then click Upload. That clicking upload thing, we hope doesn't cause too much confusion, but we're trying to obviously stress that so that we make sure that our users can get their required documents uploaded successfully. The fifth section of the application asks supplemental questions. While these are not required questions, they provide point-in-time information that helps the county evaluate current need and better informs future funding and policies. So we really do urge residents and applicants, and we hope if you help the populations you serve access the program in a way that you would also encourage them to provide some of this supplemental information so that we can better gauge community need and potential opportunities for response. All right, and finally, this is the application certification page. This asks applicants to confirm that they meet the eligibility requirements for the program as outlined by the U.S. Treasury as well as by the Johnson County Board of Supervisors. Have you lived in Johnson County since March 1st, 2020? Applicants must select yes to be eligible for the program. Are you a resident of Johnson County, Iowa? Using the Iowa Code definition of resident, applicants must select yes to be able to be eligible for the program and submit an application. Is your annual income less than the program's income limits for the size of your household? Again, this is a negative economic impact relief program for eligible residents of Johnson County who are low to moderate income. So applicants must demonstrate that they are low to moderate income residents of Johnson County. And then finally, I hereby certify that I am a resident of Johnson County, and by selecting yes below, I attest that the information in this application, including my address and identity, is true and accurate in the best of my knowledge. And I won't linger on this too much, but obviously these are federal funds. Johnson County is the pass-through or the recipient of the local fiscal recovery funds, and we have to do our due diligence to ensure that we are mitigating opportunities for fraud. So we just want to make it very clear to applicants of the direct assistance program that providing intentionally or purposely providing incorrect information to receive a benefit that they are not eligible for, that is fraud. So please provide accurate and truthful information in this application.
You'll see there at the bottom that there was a save and finish later and then a submit application. So by hitting submit application, that is going to move you into that final tab, which is a review of my application. If there are any issues with the application, meaning that a required field was not filled, it will give you an error message like those at the top of this, or I guess in the middle of this screen in red. The great part about this particular section is that it will tell you exactly what the error is. So you won't have to go back through tabs, or applicants won't have to maybe guess and check to see where an error may have happened. It will tell you exactly where the error is. If it pertains to an upload document error, it is going to highlight, or not highlight, but it will be like that highlighted in red here. And it states, please attach, in this case, it was proof of identity and both proof of residency because we did not insert anything into the application, but it is that please attach, fill in the blank here is a required field. So that is the error message that does come up when an upload documentation failure happened. So if we were to fill out the application, which we will show here. This is what that review of the application is. So this is the opportunity to go back and make sure that the information that you provided was what you intended to, that the street address you're providing is that of your residence and where that check will be mailed to. You'll be able to click through, again, all of the questions that are asked in all of the previous 6 tabs. And here at the bottom of this page and window, you can actually see what it looks like when a document was appropriately uploaded. And so you can see that it says file name, which was what we uploaded, when it was uploaded, and the size. And again, not necessarily that those details are really important, but this is just what it looks like when a documentation has been appropriately uploaded, which is really important to keep in mind. Again, you can keep looking through all of the answers that the applicant provided, making sure that they are correctly filled as the applicant sees fit. This is also a really great opportunity to point out that you can actually make changes directly in this review window. So you do not need to return to that tab to make any changes. If you choose not to do so, you can do them directly in this review my application portion of the file. And so if you see maybe that you wanted to change something, if you needed to choose a different file, perhaps there was an error in the document that you chose to upload, you can do that directly on this page. Again, these are great examples of what the application shows when a document has been appropriately uploaded. And again, you get to the bottom and we have the save and finish later option as well as the submit option. So here, if they choose to save and finish later, again, it's going to save everything that's been input into their application. They're going to be logged out of their application and they can choose to return at a later date. If they feel confident about the answers they have given to the application questions and they've been able to review it here, they will be able to go ahead and hit submit. So once they hit submit, they're going to get sent to this page. The important part is highlighted here in red. It says, thank you, your application has been submitted, and they are all set. Along with having hit submit and receiving this confirmation page, they will also receive a copy of their full application as they answered to it in that email that they provided. So again, this is an opportunity to review how they filled out the application, the answers that they provided. We encourage people to, after they receive this email, to go through and review that application just in case something got missed. If there is an error in the application at this point after they have hit submit, they will need to email our program email, which is daprogram@johnsoncountyiowa.gov. We ask that they do not submit another application, that they do not restart the process, but that they email us at that email, daprogram@johnsoncountyiowa.gov, letting us know of the error, and we'll be able to take it from there.
All right, so how do applicants track their applications? Our application period opens on Monday, April 25th at noon. Our application will remain open for 4 weeks. It will close on Monday, May 23rd at noon. All applicants receive notice that the application window has closed and review is underway. Once all applications have been reviewed, those ineligible applications will receive notice that their application was determined ineligible, and they will receive additional information with how to appeal that determination if they feel that it was reached in error. All eligible applications will receive notice reminding them that their application was determined eligible, but that does not guarantee that their application will be selected for funding. The appeal process will then begin. Once all appeals have been reviewed, any ineligible applications who were determined ineligible after the appeal will receive final notice of ineligibility, and any applications that were determined to be eligible through the appeal process will receive notice that their application has been moved towards possible selection, but not definite selection. It doesn't guarantee that your application will be selected. It just moves you into the random selection process. After selection occurs, anyone who is not selected for funding will receive notice that they were not selected for funding. All those residents that were selected for funding will receive notice that their applications were randomly selected, and that checks will be mailed no later than, and a date will likely be provided. And again, I just want to take the opportunity to remind our community partners and service providers, as we will have to remind applicants and residents of Johnson County, this is an unprecedented program. It's never been done at the county level before. Because of this, a lot of our operations are going to be taxed and stressed, and we can only issue payments at the rate of about 500 checks per week because of capacity issues in the auditor's office. So we will have to batch checks. That process will likely take approximately a month. So there is going to have to be a little bit of leeway in terms of timelines and releasing checks, because we just don't know what we can't possibly know yet. So a lot of this will depend on how many applications we receive, how long application review takes, but please know we have several staff dedicating 100% of their time to getting this program open and closed as efficiently as humanly possible. So the review process, what happens after the applications are submitted? Each application is reviewed against those 4 eligibility criteria. Applications that meet all 4 criteria will be considered eligible in that random selection for funding. And then applications that do not meet 1 or more are considered ineligible. We talked a little bit about that appeal process already. Recipients will be selected by random selection from a pool of eligible applications and successful appeals. What does the appeal process look like? Residents or applicants who were determined ineligible will receive an email that their application wasn't eligible, and it will tell them the reasons why. They then have 7 days to appeal that ineligibility determination. The application will be republished into their application portal. They'll receive an automated system email letting them know that they can access that application and make any changes necessary. They can fill out the application fully with any corrections and submit it to the county within 7 days. The application will be identical to the original submission. It is not a different application. It's the same application that they began with. And again, the appeals will be reviewed against the same 4 criteria as the original application. So that brings us to the end of the kind of informational instructional component. We are interested, of course, in learning from you as service providers, as organizations who have had kind of a pulse on community needs throughout the pandemic, and who have expertise in providing services to the many populations of Johnson County. So if at this time anybody has any questions, you can feel free to put those in the Q&A or raise your hand and we can unmute you to have discussion. Otherwise, we would like to go over some opportunities for what partnering looks like. And it doesn't have to be a massive commitment. It could be as simple as, hanging a flyer about the direct assistance program in your lobby, or a number of other ways. Paula, if you want to share that.
Yeah, absolutely. I can. Thanks, Donna. So you all do so much wonderful work in our community. And so we would so love and appreciate helping us get this program out to county residents that are going to benefit from these funds. And so these are some ways that we have outlined that you can partner with us. And again, it's not an all-encompassing list of ways that your organization or your group can assist us with. Again, there's so much programming that you already do and you know that best. And so you will also be able to provide us ways that you can integrate this particular program with some of the services that you already give. But again, as Donna stated, it can be something as simple as putting a flyer in your lobby, which allows people that come to use your services to simply learn more or know where to learn more. Providing translation and interpretation assistance. We know so many of you see a number of different community members walking through your doors. And so that's somewhere where we have done our best to try to lower those barriers, but we know that it's simply, we couldn't do it all. And so we would love to have the opportunity to partner with you in ways that you can assist us with that. Providing technology for individuals and technology assistance. We wanted to make sure that we walked you through what the application process looks like in the case that applicants come to you and perhaps ask maybe for help with that upload documents portion, which can be a little bit tricky. If you choose to advertise this program, please tag us. We'll be more than happy to reshare. Perhaps if you are one of the organizations that wants to hold an application clinic or an event of sorts to help applicants through that. Again, if you use any social media for this program, please tag us and we'll make sure to reshare it and make sure that we are just trying to hit our community in as many ways as possible with the opportunity to apply for this program. So we will actually, after this presentation, be sending you a short survey, which you saw a large component of here in that last slide. And it's really to gauge your interest and ability to assist applicants. We know that there's so much to do in the community, and so we appreciate you just taking the time to fill out this survey. We do ask that you complete it by Monday, April 25th at 9 a.m. And again, that survey does include some ways that you can choose to partner with us. If you have ideas, please include them in that other option. We'd love to hear them. And even if you are not in the capacity or your organization is not in the capacity to assist us or partner with us, please fill out this survey and let us know that that information is as equally important as the people that choose to partner with us, because we again just want to learn more about the community that we're serving. As we move forward, or as applicants move forward, if you do have additional questions or concerns, you can contact us at that DA program at johnsoncountyiowa.gov email. That's an email that will be checked very regularly, and we will do our best to efficiently respond to any queries that we receive through that email process. And with that, I think I'll hand it back to Donna to close us up here.
Yeah, we'd just like to say thank you so much for taking the time, especially over your precious lunch hours, to attend and learn a little bit more about the Direct Assistance Program. Just a reminder, the program opens Monday, April 25th and closes on Monday, May 23rd. Our website, johnsoncountyiowa.gov/direct-assistance-program is really that official hub of information that will remain updated throughout the program. And yeah, let us know what you hear, let us know what you see, and if we can do anything to be of service, please don't hesitate to reach out. Oh, great question. The county does have a flyer, which we will send to all nonprofits, community partners, service providers who attended the webinars. So thank you so much for asking. We will send that flyer PDF, which will just be a very basic, easy to print, 8.5 by 11 in both English and Spanish. If you request that resource to be available in other languages, please let us know as well.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and stay on for a little bit and answer any questions. You can continue to use that Q&A window if you feel comfortable with that. If you want to come off mute and perhaps ask a question, please raise your hand and let us know that you have something that you want us to discuss, and we'll do our best to do so. And again, you can always, if something comes up to your head after this presentation, please feel free to send an email to that DA program at johnsoncountyiowa.gov. We're more than happy to answer any questions that you might have right now, either via that Q&A box, or if you want to chat with us live, we'd be more than happy to hear that.